Pleasure to talk to you and to meet you, actually. It's
Likewise.
in these films, especially, since Guardians of the Galaxy and now Ant-Man, the challenge is to mix the comedic sense of the films with the seriousness of what superheroes are. So tell us about how enjoyable and challenging this is.
Well, for me, it's really fun. It feels like the right tone for Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Because I think there's something inherently strange and a little absurd about his powers. He shrinks and he can control ants. And the movie has to answer that question of like, well, what would actually happen if you could control ants? And if you see the movie, you see that we show you in a really big way what can happen. And that was one of the fresh, exciting things about the movie, that it feels like I know audiences that have never seen this before in a movie. So that was really thrilling. And to have Paul Rudd at the center of it, who's one of the most relatable and
So much.
insanely talented actors we have. He's really kind of like the eyes and ears of the audience. He reacts in the way that you would react if you found this suit and if all these strange things were happening to you. So there's an inherent comedic tone there. And we just wanted to make this, really fast and hopefully densely funny movie.
And having such a relatable actor is the best way to have, the younger audiences relate to the superheroes even more, because it becomes much more part of their day-to-day life.
Yeah.
So Paul said that he felt like it was the unlikely choice for it. I think he was the perfect choice for it.
I agree with you. I think, it shouldn't surprise anybody that Paul Rudd absolutely works as a superhero, because he really can do it all. Drama, comedy. As you know, he got into incredible physical shape for the movie. And, he trained with the fight choreographers and did all this stuff. And then he has to also wear this incredibly hot leather suit. But Paul just has it all. I mean, he's exactly the kind... Well, the cool thing about his character is he has no superpowers.
Yeah, exactly. And he doesn't want to. He's just,
he's a little bit reluctant. And it's all about the suit. His goals are very simple. He wants to be a part of his daughter's life. And the world is a difficult place, so he has to sort of... he may actually succumb to some temptations along the way. And it's a very crazy, strange path he has to take to achieve, to sort of earn his way back into his daughter's life.
Well, it's very much so a movie about family ties and how to deal with them. I mean,
Yes.
So tell us a little bit more about that aspect.
Well, I always liked that from the very beginning, this movie at its core, it has these two father-daughter stories. Hank Pym, Michael Douglas's character, his daughter Hope has sort of been estranged, and there was a tragedy in his past, and his obsession with sort of solving that tragedy, unfortunately, helped drive his daughter away. He really wasn't there for his daughter at a crucial time. So they're estranged, and they have to find a way to repair that relationship, or they're never going to be able to pull off this heist. And Paul's character, Scott Lang, he's fresh out of prison. He wants to be a part of his daughter's life.
Exactly.
He's divorced and estranged from her, and that's his one goal. So on the course through this journey, they really, their main goal is to sort of find peace with their children.
It was quite interesting to speak to Michael Douglas, because although he's got all that success and experience, he was so enthusiastic about being part of something that he had never done before. Do you think this is the secret of a long Hollywood career, to be excited about new things all the time?
I think you're exactly right about that. Michael has such a creative curiosity, and he likes to challenge himself. And he's had a long, amazing career. But he had never done a movie like this. He'd never done something in this genre. He'd never done something with such, a large visual effects component. And it, I think, appealed to the actor part of him. And I think it probably appealed to the Academy Award-winning producer part of him. He was fascinated by the process and how we make these movies. And for me, it was a dream come true, because I'm such a huge fan. I probably spent a huge amount of my time on set asking him questions about all his movies in the past, which was a thrill.
Yeah, exactly. You want to pick his brain all the time.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this is what works, bringing, not only Academy Award winning, but, great actors to superhero movies is what was the turning point for them to be so successful, because all of a sudden they became so interesting to the audience.
Well, yeah, I mean, for a long time, it's sometimes hard to remember now that, like, making a movie based on a comic book was like, really? That seems like a B movie. And now, Marvel's done such an amazing job. This is, I think, the 12th Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. And they've been so successful in translating these characters because they allow the movies to be their own thing. They the tone of all these movies are very different, but they all work in the same universe. And I think that's kind of this grand experiment. It's easy to forget how strange that was when it started. it just hasn't been done before, where you've sort of, there have been movies that they have sequels to, but these are all different characters and stories, but they all interlock.
No, absolutely. And then it is, it's defined as the Marvel Universe, but it is well aptly described, basically. So how does it feel to be part of the universe? What changes in your career?
Well, I really looked at it as this was a thing that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I, from a very young age, loved these characters. So to now have the opportunity to direct one of these movies, and particularly Ant-Man, I always loved Ant-Man, and to be able to sort of visualize it on such a grand scale, with such amazing actors and surrounded by like the top visual effects people, in Hollywood, and the top costumers and production designers, it's amazing because we're able to really make these definitive versions of these stories and show audiences something they haven't seen before.